This show is designed to give general information related to investing and finance. Neither Aaron Katzman, his guests, nor the radio station are rendering legal, tax, or specific investment advice. If you need such advice, contact a licensed advisor.
And welcome to the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman. We're here today to speak to you about your life, your money, and your investments. We've got a great show today, and you might have to chain me down because I am furious. I'm on a rampage. But before I tell you why, as always, we are coming to you from the spiritual and soon-to-be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. And if you want to contact me, feel free to shoot me an email, Aaron, Aaron, at lighthouse with an L, lighthousecapital.co.il. That's Aaron at lighthousecapital.co.il. Or you can check me out on the web at www.aaronkatzman.com. That's spelled Aaronkatsman, aaronkatzman.com, www.aaronkatzman.com. So, you ask, Mr. Katzman, what has got your feathers being rumpled? Or whatever that saying is. Well, I'll tell you why. Because not once, not twice, but thrice, 3 times over the last couple of weeks, I have had meetings with, I guess you could term them as millennials, sort of on the older side of millennialism, but they are millennials nonetheless, who have shown utter contempt for financial responsibility. That sounds pretty good. I should write that. Wow, that just came out. I don't rehearse anything on the show, as if you couldn't tell, right? I don't write anything down. It just all comes to mind. Utter contempt for financial responsibility. Why? Well, I'm going to give you one example. I met a couple of weeks ago with a lady who was an entrepreneur, right? Which is fantastic. There's nothing I appreciate more than entrepreneurship, entrepreneurialism, whatever the word is. And she was doing real estate. She became a real estate agent, a real estate broker. Trying to sell and be in the middle for the purchase of what was here apartments. And she went ahead and told me, she hired up a whole staff, took on a partner, the whole deal. Now, started this about 6 months ago. Now, can I tell you something? In the 6 months, this lady has not closed one deal. Okay. So I said, well, how are you living? Forget about your business for a second. How are you living? So she said, well, thankfully until now, we haven't gotten any letters that they're going to turn off the water or cut the electricity. And we're a little bit behind on our rent, but we haven't gotten any eviction notice. So, everything's okay. And when the time comes, I'm just going to borrow some money. And I'm like, huh? And she goes, yeah, you know what? I said, well, and how are you paying your staff? So she said, well, the secretary is like a relative of mine. So she doesn't really need to get any money. She can just, work. And it's like a family kind of responsibility thing. And I'm like, my eyes are rolling so fast. They could be like in the Indy 500, right? I'd be winning in the Indy 500. My eyes are going around so fast. And then I said, well, what about like the person who's doing your marketing? Because everybody knows when you start a business and you've got no money that you've got to have a secretary and you've got to have a partner and you've got to have a marketer. Anyway, I say that with some cynicism. He says, well, that person is okay that I don't pay them because they know that as soon as I get some sales, I will pay them. In the middle, they come from a wealthy family and they don't really need the money. So I'm like, huh? I'm like, have you ever heard about the moral responsibility? Biblical responsibility of actually paying your workers. But besides that, you know what the person then said? They said, you know what? I'm doing whatever I can. And whatever happens, it happens. I work a few hours and I said, well, how many hours a day do you work? To which I got the response, 6 hours. So I said, how many hours are there in the day? And the person who said, well, that's a dumb question. Obviously, there are 24. And I said, well, and you work how many? He goes, 6. So, well, what are you doing the other 18 hours a day? So, well, I go to sleep, got to get a good night's sleep, go to sleep at around 10, wake up at around 7. I'm like, so you sleep 9 hours a day. You've got a business that hasn't made a sale in 9 months. You're about to get your water, electricity turned off. You might get evicted. Okay. You've got no income. I said to her, what are you going to, what's your plan other than borrowing money? right? Thankfully, she's not married. She's got no kids, so she doesn't have that kind of responsibility. But I'm like, huh? So she was like, you know what? I did what I could. I said, well, if it's up to me, right, you might decide to invest a little more in your little real estate business, more time, not more money, because you don't have any money. So maybe cut the people that you have already because you're not paying them and you should be paying them and you have no money to pay them and you're only working 6 hours a day. But let's say that's all you can work to be efficient is 6 hours a day. So I said, why don't you do like Uber? Or why don't you work in a supermarket or do something to get some money so you can pay the utilities? I think, well, I can't, I just can't do that. I'm working really, really hard. And that was like it. Okay. I know you're used to getting everything from free from like Obama. Okay, but Obama is gone. Na, 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 na. Hey, 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 goodbye. That's my little sayonara song for President Obama. But you know what? Not everything's for free. Can't go through life getting everything for free, for crying out loud. You started a business, do the business like you're supposed to do it. Working 6 hours a day? I started my business, I was working like 18 hours a day. I killed myself for months, but it doesn't last forever. So then I said to the person, well, do you believe in your business? She goes, damn straight I believe in my business. I said, well, so? First of all, no offense, we haven't made a sale in 6 months. Yeah, but it's great potential. I've got it all. I'm doing stuff nobody else is doing. I said, yeah, clearly, because you haven't made a sale. Nobody else does that. But how about investing more time? Either doing that or something else that's going to make you some money. Like, what's your plan? You're listening to the Aaron Katzman Show. I am your host, Aaron Katzman, here to speak to you about your life, your money, and your investments. As always, if what I'm saying is too controversial for you, shoot me an email at Aaron, Aaron, at lighthouse with an L, lighthousecapital.co.il. That's Aaron at lighthousecapital.co.il. Or you can check me out on the web at www.aaronkatzman.com, www.aaronkatzman.com. So now that I vented, boy, do I feel good. I'm going to have a sip of tea. Now I'm relaxed. As I'm relaxed, now I'm going to give you the tips on how to be financially responsible. You know what number one is? Tip number one, don't spend what you don't have. So if you've got zero money, don't spend any money. That's sort of hard, right? That's what I told the lady, sort of hard. She goes, what should I do? I said, get a job. Hello, get a job and bring in some money. When I told this a bunch of times, when I first came to Israel, actually, I was between jobs. I had a job, and then I was between jobs. And you know what? I had to pay the rent, my share of the rent. I had some roommates, and I had to pay my share of the utilities. You know what I did? I cleaned toilets. Yes, I was a cleaning person, cleaning people's toilets. Did I like it? No. But I had to do it. You know why? Because I was brought up with a work ethic. And if you don't have any money, well, you can't afford anything. And I had to pay the rent, right? Because I needed shelter, and I had to pay the gas and the electricity and the water because I needed to bathe and I needed to eat. So I did whatever it was, and I cleaned people's toilets. Didn't like it. Didn't last forever because pretty soon I found another job. So that's number one, right? If you don't have money, don't spend money. And if you don't have money, make money, for crying out loud. Number two, if you've got debts, get rid of them. And if you don't have debts, don't take them on. Debt is bad. Can you say that? Debt is bad. It's certainly not a solution for somebody who's too lazy to work. I'll just borrow money. Well, when are you going to pay them back? How are you going to pay them back if you never do anything? Like, it's not that you just open the doors, you hang out a shingle, say open for business, and all of a sudden, there's going to be like a stampede. It's like Black Friday at Walmart, where there's like 5,000 people outside waiting to get in. It doesn't usually work that way for new businesses. You don't just say, hey, I got a real estate business, got some great apartments, and then like the whole planet comes knocking your door because they want to buy from you. It doesn't work that way, right? So go out and, if you can't earn money from your existing business on the side, make a little bit of money because, heck, you need money because you've got to pay for things. Number two, get out of debt, as I say, or don't take any debt. Number three, save. Pretty basic, right? I didn't reinvent the wheel. All you got to do is earn money, more than you spend, keep more than you spend, don't take debt, and save. And that's what's called financial responsibility. Okay? I'm sorry that I took it all out on you, my listeners. Okay? But I just had to vent. I was furious. Ask the secretary in my office, because she bore the brunt as I was just like, I exited each one of those specific meetings. One of them, I said, is real estate. One of them started, it was a guy started a painting business. Another lady who started like, what do you call it? Mani-pedi business. I don't even know what that is. Mani-pedi. But I see signs, mani-pedi. And each one of them pretty much was sort of the same thing. It was shocking to me. It's like, wake up. I don't want to blame it on millennials because I've got other clients who are millennials and they're normal people and they take life they take life seriously and everything. But this was just like beyond, out of control, as we like to say. Okay, out of control. So we rehearsed, we went over 3 tips for financial responsibility, right? Earn money, earn more than you spend. Don't take on debt. If you have debt, get rid of it, and then save. You're listening to the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman. I'm here to speak to you about your life, your money, and your investments. For questions and comments, feel free to shoot me an email at Aaron, AARON, at lighthousecapital.co.il. That's Aaron at lighthousecapital.co.il. Or you can check me out on the web at www.aaronkatzman.com, www.aaronkatzman.com. Until next time, we'll see you later.